Typhoon Yutu made landfall as a Category 5 on Tinian earlier on this morning, and as we get into the later hours of the morning towards dawn, the storm still has winds of 175 miles per hour and an estimated pressure around 900 millibars. It has waned a little bit, but it could still re-strengthen further later on. Still at stage 10 on the CDPS scale, however, and still a Category 5 at 15.5 north at 145 degrees east. It's now moving away 55 miles clear of Saipan now. Of course, typhoon conditions may still be occurring there. They should be ending soon down to tropical storm conditions, which will continue for a few more hours. 141 miles from Hagatna in Guam, starting to move away from there now as well, and over 1,600 miles still from Taiwan. A typhoon warning remains in effect for Rota, Tinian and Saipan, and a tropical storm warning for the rest of the Mariana Islands as far north as Agrihan. So let's take a look at what the latest model runs are saying now over the next few days to construct this forecast. The storm's expected to continue on towards the west. The JTWC think it will remain a Category 5 for the best part of 3 days. That could indeed happen, but gradual weakening later on in the forecast period by the weekend into the early part of next week, and gradually moving towards the northern tip of Luzon in the Philippines, but we expect at this point that the storm will start to make a recurvature just off those islands. But at the moment we're unsure on just how close it might get to the Philippines, Taiwan or the Ryukyu Islands of Japan. Sea surface temperatures around 29 degrees. That will start to decline a little bit in about 2 or 3 days from now, hence the drop in intensity expected. So here's another look at that forecast track. You saw it making landfall there on Tinian and then moving up now towards the west-northwest. This is the GFS model. You can see, as is per usual, the northern side of the storm having the largest tropical storm wind field in the green areas there, and it looks like the western side will be the bulkiest as we enter the early part of next week as well. Tropical storm force winds possible in the northern Philippines, Taiwan and the southernmost Ryukyu Islands in the next 5 days, and you can see it there turning, almost a U-turn towards the northeast. Chances of tropical storm force winds, those first ones are pretty much, there's no need to say that, we already know. Of course, it's a devastating situation we expect to see by morning. 11% chance of tropical storm force winds now in Miyakojima and 5% in Taipei. The CTCX model doesn't think that the storm's done. It could intensify further. The JTWC putting that in their thoughts as well. Not out of the realms of possibility. The other models show gradual weakening. Wind shear is going to be on a gradual rise over the next few days, we expect. That will be a participating factor. Sea surface temperatures dropping, relative humidity dropping. CTCX still an outlier with that early recurve, but the other models now taking it due west at least some point in the Philippine Sea. So this is how the storm's been looking in recent frames as it started to move off those islands. A northwestward motion at the moment, and whilst it's still got a very strong, intense eye, I should say, about 21 degrees Celsius. Earlier today it was 23, and that is the warmest eye we've seen since at least 2013 on satellite, and that denotes an extremely strong storm. And you can see on the infrared imagery there, starting to wane a little bit on the western side. That's why the intensity's gone down a little bit, but this storm still remains a ferocious Category 5, and it's not done on those islands. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com with the latest. You can also find our YouTube page. You're probably there already, but if not, subscribe if you haven't so far. You can also find our Facebook page, Force 13 all in text, and it's at Force 13 on Twitter if you'd like to get in touch with us on there. You can also help the project become even better by enjoying the benefits of patronage. You can find out more information about how to become a patron and what those benefits are at patreon.com/Force13. You can also add Force 13 on Skype and Fool 13 at extension 9094 on Discord for tropical weather chat.